This is why your ex's rebound will never last. They moved on so fast, like lightning. One minute they were with you, and the next, they're with someone new, posting, smiling, acting like the past never even existed. And you're left there, holding the silence, staring at the screen, wondering, how can they look so happy so quickly? Did they ever really care? Is this new person really better than me? But here's the truth that no one tells you when you're stuck in that space. Just because they moved on fast, doesn't mean it's going to last. In fact, in most cases it won't, because rebound relationships might look solid from the outside. But underneath, they're built on avoidance, not connection. They feel real, but they're usually rushed. They shine online, but quietly crack when the cameras are off. So if you've been secretly hoping their new relationship falls apart, not out of spite, but because you know it's not built on truth, this video is for you. We're going to break down exactly why your ex's rebound will almost always fail, emotionally, psychologically, and quietly, even if they never admit it out loud. You'll understand what's really happening behind the posts, the PDA, and the pretend happiness. And more importantly, what it means for you and your healing. Let's get into it. At first it feels impossible to understand. How can someone go from "I love you" to loving someone else, almost overnight? But here's the truth. Fast doesn't mean over, it means avoid. Most people don't jump into rebound relationships because they're healed. They do it because they're hurting, and they don't want to deal with it. They're not chasing love, they're chasing relief. From guilt, from silence, from facing the version of themselves that's left behind after the breakup. It's not about you, it's about escaping everything they didn't want to feel. So while they look like they've moved on fast, all they've really done is delayed the crash. Let's be real. From the outside, their new relationship might look amazing. They're posting couple selfies, laughing, traveling, saying things like "I've never felt this seen." And for a moment, you start questioning yourself. Were we ever that happy? Was I the problem? But here's the reality. Rebounds are designed to look better than they feel. They start strong. Fast chemistry, intense attention, constant validation. But that's not connection. It's emotional performance. And the better you're seeing, it's not rooted in truth, it's rooted in urgency. So don't let the highlight reel trick you, because when it comes to rebound relationships, the louder they look in the beginning, the quieter they fall in the end. On the surface, a rebound looks like a fresh start. It's new, it's exciting, it's passionate. And for the one who jumped into it, it feels like proof that they've moved on, or at least that they're okay. But here's the emotional truth no one wants to admit. Most rebounds aren't built on healing, they're built on avoidance. They didn't take time to process what happened. They didn't sit with the grief, the guilt, the regrets. They didn't ask themselves the hard questions. What did I lose? What do I still carry? What am I afraid of? Instead, they ran right into something new, right into someone new, not because they were ready to love, but because they were desperate not to feel. And for a while, it works. The attention is distracting. The physical intimacy is comforting. The newness drowns out the pain that was bubbling under the surface. But here's the catch. You can't outrun what you haven't healed. Eventually, the silence catches up. The unprocessed emotions rise. The pain they buried, the part of them that was still connected to you, still confused, still broken. It all starts creeping back in. Because connection takes honesty. Real love requires depth, and rebounds, no matter how intense they seem, usually lack both. They're built to feel good, not to last long. So when you wonder why your ex's new relationship doesn't sit right with you, even if it looks perfect, trust that instinct. Because what you're feeling is truth. The hidden patterns that doom rebounds. Most rebound relationships don't crash from one big blow-up. They slowly unravel from the inside out, because they're built on broken patterns. Here are just a few of the silent relationship killers that show up again and again. First, emotional copy-paste. They try to recreate what they had with you. The same routines, the same roles, but with someone new. But recycled chemistry isn't real connection, and eventually it feels hollow. Second, unhealed trauma loops. Instead of learning from past mistakes, they repeat them, projecting their fears, blaming their ex, avoiding accountability. That emotional weight doesn't disappear. It just shows up in a new place. And lastly, fantasy over foundation. Rebounds are often fueled by the idea of a relationship, not the actual compatibility. When real emotional needs surface, the fantasy breaks. So, while it may look like things are going smoothly beneath the surface, the same patterns that ended the last relationship are quietly working their way through this one too. The quiet ways it starts falling apart. Rebounds rarely crash all at once. They don't usually end with a dramatic fight or a big betrayal. Instead, they fade, quietly, slowly, almost invisibly, until one or both people are sitting there thinking, why doesn't this feel right anymore? Because the truth is, rebound relationships are built on a rush of relief, not a foundation of reality. And when that rush wears off, cracks start to show. They stop posting each other as much. The photos fade, the captions get shorter. Suddenly that couple who couldn't stop showing off is strangely quiet. Why? Because the performance is exhausting. And without real connection to hold it up, it becomes harder and harder to keep the illusion going. Conversations get shallow, or tense. It starts with small things. They talk less, share less, maybe even start arguing about things that feel out of proportion. That's not drama, that's disconnection. And when the emotional glue isn't there, even small misunderstandings can feel overwhelming. The past starts creeping in. They start thinking about you. Not because they want to go backward, but because what they're in now feels emotionally thin. Suddenly, the things they rushed away from feel clearer. They start remembering the depth they had, the comfort they didn't realize they'd miss. And worst of all, they stop feeling present. One or both partners starts pulling away, not physically but emotionally. They're there, but they're not with each other. It's not explosive, it's just empty. These are the signs most people miss, or deny, until it's too late. Because when a relationship is built on escape, the moment it stops distracting you, it starts draining you. And that's when it begins to fall apart. Not with a bang, but with a quiet letting go. Why they rarely admit it's falling apart. Here's what's frustrating. Even when the rebound is clearly fading, they won't say it, they won't post about it, they won't admit it to their friends, or even to themselves. Why? Because admitting it's falling apart means admitting they rushed into it, that they weren't healed, that they were wrong. And that's a hard thing to face, especially when they tried so hard to make it look like they were winning the breakup. They might stay in it longer than they should, not out of love but out of pride. They don't want to deal with the shame. They don't want people to say I told you so. And they definitely don't want you to know it failed. So, they pretend. They hold on to something that's not working just to protect their ego, but inside they feel it slipping. And deep down they know what this means for you. So now you know the truth. Their new relationship, it's not what it looks like. It's not some perfect love story. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reaction to their own pain. And no matter how loud or fast it started, if it was built on avoidance, it was never built to last. So if you've been sitting there wondering, what does this say about me? Why wasn't I enough? How could they move on so quickly? Let me gently remind you, their rebound isn't your failure, it's their delay. While they ran into something new to skip the healing process, you stayed and faced it. You felt the pain. You sat with the silence, you cried, processed, questioned, and grew. That's the hard road, but it's also the honest one. You may not see the results yet, you may still be hurting, but you're building something they didn't give themselves the chance to. Emotional strength, self-awareness, real lasting peace. And while they might have moved on first, you'll be the one who actually moves forward, for real. Because your next relationship, it won't be a rebound. It'll be built on healing, on truth, on clarity, and on a version of you that's no longer carrying the pain of someone who didn't know how to stay. So stop comparing your quiet growth to their loud distraction. You're not behind, you're becoming, and that will always last longer than anything fake ever could. Closing message. If this video gave you even a little peace, then let that be proof that your healing is working. Because this wasn't just about your ex. It wasn't about whether their new relationship lasts or breaks. It was about you, your clarity, your growth, your reminder that you were never the problem. And you're not replaceable just because someone else moved fast. And if you've been hurting quietly, comparing your healing to their highlight reel, let me say this clearly. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not easy to move on from. They rushed into something new. You stayed to face the storm. And that is the kind of strength that builds a version of you they'll never find again. Drop a comment, even if it's just, I'm healing at my own pace. You never know who needs to see it, or how much it'll help someone else feel less alone. And if you want more content like this, real, raw, and built to help you feel understood, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Give me a like to support this kind of videos. Because I'm not here to help you get over them fast. I'm here to help you get back to you, fully. This chapter hurt, but it's not your ending, it's your becoming. Make the background music emotional cinematic ambient with soft piano and subtle atmospheric textures.